George Brook to go live to the nation.
Yes.
Let's go. Hello and welcome to Talking Leeds with myself, Arron Marshall, and Mr. George Bearded Peacock Brook. Good evening, George. And first of all, apologies to those who have been waiting for us to start. I had to have my tea, George, so we're not starting at 7. But good evening, Mr. Brook. How are we, sir?
Well, good evening, Aaron. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Good early hours of the morning to anybody, wherever you're watching from. I know some people are watching and listening to it back. So good evening, good morning, good night to everybody. Good afternoon. And yeah, I'm okay, Aaron. Thank you. How are you? The first question has to be, and Jimbo I want to know as well, what did you have for your tea?
What did I have for my tea? I had a Cajun chicken pasta, which was
very
delicious.
nice. Very nice.
Really nice. What about yourself?
What did I have? I actually had spaghetti also, pasta spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Chicken based. I put some fish in there as well. Very nice.
Very nice, George. There you go. That's talking kitchens and talking tea with myself and George Brook.
We're talking pasta and spaghetti as well, isn't it?
Who knows what we'll have next week, but who knows? George, let's get straight into it then, because it's been a very good few weeks for Leeds United. Well, where do we start? Should we talk about the 4-0 destroying of Watford on Tuesday, or do you want to start with Leeds are going up? Because I'm going to call it now. I'm confident that Leeds United are going to be promoted to the Premier League. I know it's early to call, but like US presidential elections, I'm going to call it. Leeds are going up.
Well, it all rolls into one, Aaron, doesn't it? That conversation feeds into the thrashing of Watford on Tuesday. I think ideally we will start with the beating of Watford because it was only 2 days ago. Yeah, great result. Have you even got a can of alcoholic beverages there?
Diet Coke, caffeine.
Oh, Diet Coke. Okay, we're not sponsored by it, but you are allowed to drink. Other pop is available, as they say. But yeah, look, let's start with the game on Tuesday, Aaron. And what a great result it was. I mean, we're 14 games unbeaten. I think that was the 6th straight clean sheet in a row. They've not conceded a goal in the league since the 3-3 draw away at Hull in early January, which is quite impressive, really. And, we're not really conceding many shots either. It was just so comfortable in the end. And it was a game, Aaron, that I think everybody, me included, felt a little bit nervous about. But I think I must say, this season Leeds are just a different animal. And I think you're right to say that. I know it's early to say. I don't think it is that early to say. I think after these next 3 games, if we can get through these next 3 unscathed, and even with 9 points, even with 7 points, even to be fair with, 5 points, I think we could probably say Leeds United are going up with 11 games to go, yes.
Yeah. I think when you look at the other results, last night there was no results which went our way. Obviously, Middlesbrough did a bit of a shift and they lost 3-1 against Sheffield United. But when you look at the games coming up, I think the next 3 are so big for us, aren't they, George? Because you've got Sunderland at home. I actually can't wait for that game. I'm absolutely buzzing for it. I really can't. It's going to be half term. It's going to be great. Under the lights, it's always special. And then the week after, it's Sheffield United. And that, again, if we can get a good result against Sunderland, a positive win, which I do think Leeds will do. I think they'll go and win the game. I think Meslier will have the game of his life. And, from obviously the mistake up at Sunderland earlier on in the season, he'll want to put that right. And I do think it's an exciting time. The feel-good factor, George, for me being a Leeds fan, is back. And it hasn't been back for a while. This is Bielsa era now we're talking. This is going back to 2019-20 and 21, the 21 season. I think, we're right up there now for me. The feel-good factor's back. I don't know about you.
Well, yeah, I mean, naturally with Leeds United,
sorry to interrupt. Are you still Daniel Farke out?
Well, I mean, let's address what Jimbo said initially. I mean, it is available, and he's referring to, some other thing which we will not speak about. I mean, if you see,
if you want to do that, you can do that in your time, but not on this show.
We do not absolutely tolerate it. Absolutely not at all. But to answer your question, my stance hasn't changed on the manager. I'll be absolutely honest, and I think I accept that. Yes, he will take us into the Premier League. I'm with you. I think we will. We should from this position, even though it could be as little as 2 points clear of third come Saturday evening, because we play on Monday night, don't we?
Yeah.
But I think we will. I'm with you. I think we will beat Sunderland. I think we will get that cushion back to 5 come Monday, Tuesday. So I think, but ultimately, Aaron, I've got to stand by my thoughts. Yeah, Daniel Farke will not take Leeds very far in the Premier League.
But don't you think he deserves the opportunity to do that?
Of course he does. Yeah, of course he
does. And you look back to when he got promoted with Norwich and it didn't work out. Maybe he wasn't given the funds which he really needed. I think he deserves it. And he's up there with one of the best managers in the Championship. He's up there with Bielsa. Dare I say Scott Parker, because he's in that top 5 list. We've got to just really trust this guy now, George. He's getting the job done.
He is. He's getting the job done, and it's great. As an
example, we could absolutely fall apart, which wouldn't surprise me.
We could, and look, we're all saying, we're going to go up, and everybody else is, other fans from other teams are saying, we're going up. Obviously, Leeds United fans are a little bit more pessimistic and thinking, don't say it just yet. But I think, look, like I just said, if we get up through these next 3 games, Sunderland, Sheffield United and West Brom game is pretty easy for me. I think we will win that game, but it is another team in the top 6.
That's it then, isn't it? After those.
Yeah, exactly. And if we get past those over 3, even with 9, with 7 points, with how many other points we can accrue, we'll be good without losing any of the games. I feel like we're then bang, the lads are going to be so confident they can dispatch the next 11 games and win the title. I believe at this moment, I don't really care if we win it or come second. It doesn't matter. Just get it over the line and make sure you don't end up in the playoffs. And then, like you said, the last 11 games, pretty simple-ish, aren't they? Really, if you look at it. So I think we're on a good spin. We're on a good spin now. The lads look confident. I mean, after the game, I don't know if you saw the little clip of them. They looked absolutely gassed. I mean, Ramazan is saying, "Who wants smoke? Who wants smoke?" I thought it was hilarious, to be fair. But they all just look gassed up. They all look confident. So I think it's great to see, really.
It is. I think you're right, and I think what Jimbo says there is, I just want to pull this one there. Says Leeds have got to get over the hurdle of the March international break. It's 6 games to go until that. But Jimbo, you've got to agree with us here now that if we can get to that international break, even with 5-point cushion, you would hope that would give Leeds United enough confidence to get over the line. I think it'll be more. I think it could be more something like 7 or 8 points come then if Leeds, continue this remarkable run of form. I think they'll be up there. And I just want to pull up Danny Talk Sports says here. He says, Fark is the best man for the job. When we go up, he likes a defensive style, which will suit the Prem. Do you agree with what Danny says there? Good evening to you, Danny.
Good evening, Danny. I'm not sure it is a defensive style, is it really? I don't know where you can call him. He has a defensive style. I mean, look how many goals we're scoring. I don't think you can call it a defensive style, to be fair.
No, but, I think what needs to work is what's happening in the Championship is you just continue with that and just get better players around you. Because I do think they need that quality, though.
They need 100%.
But regardless of whichever division we're in, they're still going to need a massive rebuild.
I don't know. I don't think if we're still in the Championship, God forbid we're still in the Championship, then I think the team. It'll be more like players leaving, won't it?
Yeah, there will be players leaving,
which would be unthinkable, really, from this point. You've just got to keep going. But that's what I mean. The mentality of the boys seems quite focused, just like and there's Yoel's saying another one bites the dust and all this kind of thing. It's just like another one ticked off. Let's go again and dispatch of Sunderland, and then it's another game down. It's another 3 points in the bag, and let's just keep rolling on. You know what I mean? And the boys obviously feel very, very confident. We don't need to speak about that cup exit. It was horrendous. It was awful.
But George, can I just touch on that? Look at what happened to Millwall last night.
I know. Well, they deserve to be relegated just for that, really, don't they? I mean, they won't be anywhere near it, will they? But they deserve it for that. I know Plymouth are flying high in the cup, but in the league, they're absolutely shocking, aren't they? So to lose 5-1 there is unthinkable, and you've got to be questioned. Like I said, they deserve straight relegation for that. To be quite honest, no, they won't at all. They're close to the top 6, but then again, everybody are, Jimbo says they were knackered after the cup. They put everything into it. The lad that scored the 2 goals didn't even start the game for some reason. So I don't know what happened there. But it was horrible on Saturday. Nobody likes watching Leeds lose, and it's not nice. And I think we've forgotten what it's like to watch Leeds lose. Obviously since we've been on this fantastic run of form and everything like that. But it's not nice to watch Leeds lose. I thought the lads were really poor who came in and didn't do themselves any favours to get into the starting 11. But look, it's all forgotten about. I'd rather win that game on Tuesday and lose the game on Saturday, the cup game, than the reverse. And so it was fine. We dispatched very quickly of Watford. I thought Watford, to be fair, in the first sort of 10 minutes or so, I thought they looked a little bit dangerous. Kayembe, I think, should have probably done a little bit better. He had an effort in the first few minutes, which went wide. And, and you thought maybe they're going to give us a bit of a game. But as soon as we scored the first, you back us every single time when we score first. And, they put them to bed, and it was really good to see. Could have even been more. But that last goal from Yoel was just, it was lovely. It was just, another one of them games where you could just sit back and say, hey, I'm actually enjoying this, instead of the tense kind of.
George, you're enjoying it, are you?
I really enjoyed that on Tuesday, and just sitting there thinking we've won this game and we're playing all right. Defensively look solid. Gets to the point where you just want those clean sheets. I know they hit the bar in the last few minutes, didn't they? And that could have easily gone in, and that would have been a little bit disappointing. I mean, look, we're obviously going to concede from now to the end of the season, but at some stage along the line. But it's keeping this run of clean sheets going. I know Burnley have it as well. So I don't think Burnley are ever going to concede a goal ever again, to be quite honest with you. It feels a bit like that, doesn't it? But
they've beat some record as well, haven't they, this
week? They have,
But
I mean, it's, like you said, the results last night, we don't really, I don't really look at that too tough because, it doesn't matter. We just need to keep on winning, keep bettering their results in terms of we've got the best points in the league. All we need to do is just keep winning games of football, and they look in a good space to keep doing that, Arron. So yeah, happy with it, really.
Excellent. Okay, right then, George, it's time for this. Oh, it's Tanaka time, George. What's caught your eye this week in the world of Leeds or the world?
Well, as you know, Arron, and you're probably going to keep it away from Leeds United, but I'm going to keep it, obviously, as I do like to, with Leeds United theme. And Arron, of course, behind me, we spoke about it just off air before we came on. It is Valentine's Day tomorrow, Arron, the 14th of February. So, and this sort of Tanaka time is loosely based around sort of Valentine's Day. But there is something that caught my eye on social media this week after the Watford win, and I'm sure it didn't escape your eyes either, Arron, or even the people in the comments either, because it was well documented in the end. But a Leeds United fan, shared the way he shares the Leeds United results with his young daughter, and he wrote it on a little piece of paper with the scoreline, with the scorers. And this just caught my eye, and this was just a lovely moment, really. Obviously, both of us are parents ourselves, so it kind of made me happy. I thought it was a really, really nice touch, and it got me thinking. Arron, it's exploded. It's gone all over Match of the Day and other social media. Big sport. Social media accounts as well. He must be absolutely thinking, wow, that's good. I didn't expect that to happen, but it has happened because it was such a lovely thing to do. It's so nice. But it got me thinking about, the first sort of moments. Obviously, his daughter is young, so she had to go to bed and she couldn't see the result. But it got me thinking about the first memories of Leeds United that anybody in the comments has, or that you had yourself. And was there something like that you experienced, or what was your first kind of memories or things where you fell in love with Leeds United? Do you remember it at all?
I can remember the first game. I can remember that. It was always my dad, really, with Leeds, and the shirts, watching them on TV. Back in the 90s when we were growing up, there were I can remember though, is the Champions League. We used to go to youth club and watch Leeds youthy, as it used to be, in the youth club, watching the Champions League nights. That was quite special. And obviously going to watch them as well in the Champions League, that was good as well. But do you know what? I think falling in love with Elland Road, because it's quite special. I can remember going. It was a weekday night. I think it was Bradford City we played, and we beat them 1-0. I think it was. I can't remember. It was back in the early 90s, and it was a great occasion. And you just think it's under the lights. It's special. This. That's kind of my kind of touch, my love with it. And then we've just been disappointed ever since. Me and Leeds United have been divorced many, many times, and we've been married many, many times. What about you?
Well, that's
when did you fall in love with Leeds?
Well, it just, I don't even really remember. You can't really pinpoint.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's hard to pinpoint. I mean, I thought I'd ask you the question, but it's hard to pinpoint an exact moment where you. But what I think really is like the earliest memories, I suppose, is what it is tied to as well. And I think the sort of earliest memories, obviously, I support Leeds because of my dad. He's a Leeds fan, and it was just. I remember him sitting me down saying, "Who do you want to support?" Because I've got two brothers. We all support different sides, and they'd already picked their teams based on players that they liked, not anything to do with any family members or anything. It was all based on players that they like. So one's a Liverpool fan, the other one's a Newcastle fan. And I knew my dad supported Leeds, so I just in the end I said, well, I'll just support Leeds with you. So that was it. My first game wasn't till 2004, so I'm a little bit younger than you, aren't Aaron? But and it was Plymouth. It was Plymouth actually. It was Plymouth at home, and in the Championship. So to this day, I still, even though I supported Leeds in those Premier League years in the early 2000s, I still haven't seen Leeds United in a Premier League match live. So it will be quite special for me to witness that eventually. So it was It was the first year in the Championship. David Healy scored, and it was an own goal as well. We won 2-1. And I think again, just Elland Road is just magic, isn't it? When you're a young lad, and it's incredible. And like the lad in.
For me, it's Under the Lights. I think it is special.
This was also Under the Lights because it was just after Christmas, so it was dark early. So it was probably a 3 o'clock kickoff, but it got dark early and the lights were on, and you're getting, because it's late, it's dark, getting out of the game and stuff. And it just had this kind of feel to it that, you know what I mean? I like this. I enjoy it. And, it's something that I can do with my dad. And I suppose my dad, he is obviously a Leeds fan, but he's not like, you ask him who the players are and he could only name you 3 or 4 of them. You know what I mean? But he looks at the highlights, and it's something that it's nice we can still discuss it, obviously. And, but he isn't like, he's not like on it. He doesn't, you know what I mean? But it's still something that we can enjoy together. And it's just, that's nice. You know what I mean? We'll always text during the games, or, I'll say, have a look at the game, have a look at the result. I remember that Cardiff game where I said to him, have you seen the result? And he was like, no, I haven't seen it yet. And then I was like, and then he came back and he's like, oh gosh, 7-0. And the day before that, he just sent me a little clip of that 7-0 Southampton game. And, they were just passing it around, and he was like, great passing and all this kind of stuff. And then the day after, we went and beat Cardiff 7-0. So I said, it's a bit of a coincidence. They send them, you sent me that one yesterday. So it's just all of that, something you can do, with your family members and things. And I just, it's just nice. I don't know what it is. And I don't know why it just sort of resonated with me so much. I mean, look at us. We're talking about Leeds every week on a podcast. I've got my own podcast about it. It's just like every single day, even in some capacity, it's just in your mind, isn't it? And it's just like, it's...
Do you know, you're making me think now, George. Obviously, my dad's no longer with us, as you know. And do you know what? And what always gets me is when Leeds got promoted under Bielsa, and it would have been his birthday. And I know he'd have been looking down on his birthday and that. So it's on the 17th of July, and that's when his birthday was. And and that always means a lot to me now. Leeds have given me that. Obviously, COVID happened, etc., which is shit, of course, but it's a nice little touch in the Marshall household for us. We'll have been looking down, celebrating with that. But do you know some really nice Tanaka times which have come in, Josh? I want to touch on a few here. Danny Talks Sport says he fell in love with the 91-92 season. Jimbo says, I remember my first memory was watching the local news when all the fans went to Bournemouth. I remember seeing a fan climbing the floodlights. We could be doing that at Plymouth to come the end of the season. And he also come back in as Danny says, I remember my dad telling me back in the 70s, he went to a European game that started off in scratch and ended up in the cup. They were that many in there. Yeah, it's good. It's good. And I think everybody's got, connections tied to Leeds, and they're good stories to have. They really, really are. And you've got to enjoy it and listen to it. But thanks
that's it, isn't it, Aaron? And also, with bringing it back to the lad, to the guy who wrote it on the piece of paper for his daughter. He obviously it's sort of generational again. He will be like when she could probably remember it, but he would be like, oh yeah, I used to write it down for you, and then she might do it for her, children and all that kind of stuff. And, it's something that people can talk about. People just remember games and all this kind of stuff. It's great, really, when you think about it. It's past winning or losing games of football. It's just memories created, isn't it? And it's and that's it. That's all it is. That's what we live for, isn't it? So,
shall I give you my Tanaka time? I can't top that. I really can't. That's a good Tanaka time. That's probably one of his best, George. There. My Tanaka time this week, and if you've got a Tanaka time, get involved in the comments. Tell us what's really caught your eye this week in the world of Leeds or anything. It's kind of Leeds-based, George, is mine. I don't know if you've heard Farsley Celtic had Neil Redfern in charge.
Yes.
4 or 5 weeks ago, he's been sacked, he's walked away. And today, the chairman of Farsley Celtic has also walked away. And it's been really disastrous down at Farsley Celtic. Farsley is near me in Pudsey. It's just around the corner, local side. Absolutely. They're in the conference not so long ago. They're absolutely being shithoused on by the ownership and leadership at the club. Neil Redfern's walked away. Farsley Celtic, they haven't even got a home ground at the moment because they've been kicking off about some contractors not doing the work properly or something. I think they have to play Boston or somewhere. They have to play miles away their home games. It's absolutely diabolical. And Neil Redfern has had enough and walked away from it. And I just think that's really caught my eye because Neil Redfern is a real decent coach at that. I think it's National League North, I think it is they're in, and then the relegation zone. They're absolutely, it's Buxton, says Jimbo there. That's where they have to play miles away for a home game, and the fans are boycotting. It's just a disaster. So you've got to really feel for shit owners, and just really got to feel for Redfern there. He couldn't turn it around.
Well, we've been there ourselves, haven't we, on the Redfern as well? Having to deal with like Salino and stuff like that as well. And now he's having to deal with it all over again. He must be having nightmares. But how long was he there, the manager, for?
He was there for literally like 5 weeks.
Right,
he's gone. He's literally gone now.
Like you said, he's had enough and he's gone. I mean, I like Redders. I think he seems like a good bloke. He's a decent man. And I also once. Now I'm going to reveal where, perhaps where I am, but on a place that is very close to me. I once saw Neil Redfern. No, I didn't see him in person, but I once saw him at a picture of him wearing some Leeds United gear. Who, company was obviously trying to promote it, and I recognised it, the place he was in as my home place where I grew up, which is Home Firth. So I recognised it in the back there. He was sat in Home Firth, and I thought, oh wow, I missed him that day. And also you will enjoy this as well, because I know you're a big fan of this man, and I don't know if you saw it, but the Rate My Takeaway man was also in Home Firth over a couple of weeks ago. Yes,
I've met Danny before. He's a good lad. He's done
a just many good chats with him. Yeah, so I know you rate him, and I missed him also as well. But
Rate My Takeaway.
So go and check that out. It was actually.
Did you see him?
No, I missed it. I didn't see him. I've seen the video, and I know exactly where the takeaway that he was rating.
Right.
I am Jimbo. That's me. Right? Yeah. That's it's
George
my home
from the
place.
Last of the Summer Wine. Yes,
it's my home place. Is that where they filmed? Of course, Last of the Summer Wine is a little bus that goes around showing you the sights of that. So yes,
George drives that bus on a Sunday. So if you want to get on the Last of the Summer Wine tours, you can. George,
yes, I'd love to do that. I might not make it out of the little car park it sits in, because as you know, Aaron, I do not drive. So yes,
Arthur has got a Tanaka time as well. The QPR game has been moved to a Sunday. I think Arthur would say that the game's been moved to a Sunday, 12 o'clock or 12:30 kickoff. I think the Portsmouth game has also been moved to accommodate TV selections. Sky TV, please tag your friends and share this with them. You're an absolute effing joke. You really, really are. You do not care about us Leeds United fans. You do not care about football fans. All you're bothered about is TV revenue, audience figures, because the millions will tune in to watch it. And those 2, 3, 4, 5,000 fans who will be going down to Portsmouth and London on a Sunday morning with no trains or whatever, absolute jokes you are. I hope you get taken over by the certain Amazon Fire Stick collection and you go bust. That's the only thing I can say, because you're an absolute joke, Sky TV. You should never do that. Think of the fans, you fucking pricks. There you go. And Sky TV is fucking shit. There you go. It is. IDST.
There you go.
There you go. Right, that's my rant. That's the end of Tanaka time for this week, Sky, you prick. We could have weekly rants about Sky TV. I'm sure we could.
Yeah, well, maybe that's another little segment in the show.
Yeah,
you know,
we could rant about Sky TV. Oh, and ITV as well. They're epic shit as well.
I don't know why they had that game. I'm really confused about that Wednesday game that they had. It was just a bit random, wasn't it?
Yes, it's just crazy. It's just the TV. I'm not being funny though. ITV, Sky, they should not be getting involved in this. They should just let play them on a Saturday, especially the way home game's not too bad. You know what I mean? It's just give us a little bit of due and don't change it 4 or 5 weeks, from when we're supposed to play it. That's the key thing for me.
Well, this is it, isn't it? Yeah, they're always constantly changing it for like you said, for revenue and all sorts. I mean, the QPR one, obviously, like Arthur says, they're hoping for another paste that we get another pasting, aren't they? Probably. I don't think that will happen again, Aaron. But you know what I mean. Like I said, this Leeds United team just seemed a little.
But with Sky, though, they say, and I'm sorry for ranting about Sky here, George, but they say, "Oh, we're for the fans and all this shite." They don't care. They don't care that Leeds United fans are going to have to travel down to Portsmouth on a Sunday. There's no bloody trains, for God's sake.
Yeah, no. Well, I know. But there are other ways to get to Portsmouth. It will take a long time.
There's a coach, of course. There's a coach, but for me, you've got family commitments at home. It's not an easy thing, and Portsmouth is not the easiest place to get to. By the way,
no, it's not.
I just think it's. And do you know? Shall I tell you what they'll do? I'm going to call this here now, George. The Plymouth game, or the last game of the season.
Yep.
It's going to be on TV. Of course it is, because Sky will want to get their mega bucks out of us being in the EFL for the final time. They will play at 12:30.
Probably, yeah. Probably. Although, no, because they're all played at the same time. They might actually be playing at 12:30 anyway.
But it's not confirmed. It's not confirmed yet.
Well, they usually,
true.
But it's they do usually all play at the same time on the last day, though. So
they do. But as things stand, if you look at the fixtures, look at the fixture list, and I'm currently looking at it now to prove myself, but I'm not like yes, it's 3rd of May, Plymouth Argyle away, 3:00 as it stands, and there you go. I can show the fans.
Well, look, Jimbo's made a real good point here. That you clearly don't care about the fans because you kicked off 15 minutes late, and so. But
George, Jimbo, what do you want me to do? Starve?
Yeah, the man's got to eat, hasn't he? Really?
So time to do this. We've got to give a little bit. When we used to do it on the other show, Alf used to go for a shit beforehand. Leave us to it. You know what I mean?
Well, no, that's again, the man's got to, let things out of his back passage.
Oh God, why is this show? I'll tell you what. Let's do this, George. Okay, trivia challenge time, George. Yeah, exactly. So yes, you're right. He did it from a little.
Did he really?
Yes, can you not remember?
I don't remember that.
He had like the throbbing Bielsa, and he was like literally at the checkouts or something.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, I can remember it. Yeah, it's probably on YouTube somewhere. I'll dig it out. But as you know, I don't watch back any of our shows.
I know. Well, I think you did. But you did watch and listen back to one, did you? One time,
yeah, Black Bentley Gate.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think I do generally.
No. Right, George, let's do a Leeds United Valentine's Day special. Love is in the air. Valentine's Day tomorrow, 14th of February, and I've created a quiz all about Leeds United and Valentine's Day. So, George, please, can you cover up the comments from your screen? Here he is. You get a good look at the beard, guys. There you go. Covered up. There you go. I think we just saw a pigeon fly out of it.
Yeah, it might have been something. Might have been a bit of that pasta I had earlier.
You just see a bit of spaghetti coming out.
Coming out of it there with the fish.
Okay, George, I have got 5 Leeds United Valentine's Day quiz questions for you. And all you've got to do is answer them. All right, I have got a multiple choice question for you, which I will help you along the way. Are you ready? You're aiming for 5 out of 5. And if you get 5 out of 5, you're a real fan. If you don't, you're not. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, this is a tricky one. George, Leeds United played a famous Champions League match on Valentine's Day in 2001. Who did they face?
Who knows? I don't know. Barcelona.
Do you want me to give you the 4 possible answers?
Okay.
Okay, so it could be Real Madrid, AS Roma, Anderlecht, or Barcelona.
Barcelona.
You're saying Barcelona. Get in the comments. No, Jimbo, you're wrong. It was incorrect. That it was Anderlecht. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Question number 2. Which Leeds United legend was born on February the 14th, 1946? Was it Billy Bremner, Alan Clark, Eddie Gray, or Peter Lorimer?
Oh, I think it was Lorimer.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
No, it's not Peter Lorimer. It's Alan Clark. Oh dear, not Bremner.
I'll just a question, a little tidbit about Alan Clark. Me and my dad, we once went to the Playhouse. You know, the Playhouse in Leeds, to watch the Damned United and Alan Clark was in the crowd. He was watching it with us, yeah. And and I think my dad, he was like, "It's Alan Clark," and I was like, "Oh, cool." And then there was a lady checking everybody's tickets as she went in, and she obviously clocked that a lot of people were giving this man a lot of attention, you know, Clark. And she didn't know anything, and she said to him, "Did you have something to do with Leeds United?" And he just winked at everybody and went, "Yeah, just a little bit." And then
there you go.
And then he just wandered it. I think he was with his son as well, but it was it was good. It was good. That.
Okay. There you go, a little trivia there for you. Question 3, George. What was the score when Leeds United played Derby County on Valentine's Day in 2015? Was it 0-0, 1-0 to Leeds, 2-2, or 2-1 to Derby?
Derby won 2-1, did they?
No, it wasn't. It was a 1-0 win to Leeds.
Oh, good.
Okay, right. And player's shirt question for you now. Which of these players has never worn the Leeds United number 14 shirt? Jonathan Woodgate, Matthias Click, Aidy White, or Robert Snodgrass? I'll tell you them again. So, which player has never worn the Leeds United number 14 shirt? Jonathan Woodgate, Matthias Click, Aidy White, or Robert Snodgrass, who's never worn 14?
It's got to be Click, hasn't it?
Matthias Click. Well, according to my answers, the correct answer is Robert Snodgrass.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Click worn it as soon as he got it.
Yeah,
because he loves 43 in it. That's his number. So maybe he just, I don't know. Maybe he just wore it when he got here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Bearing in mind, I'm using ChatGPT here. It could be wrong. Question 5.
That's an AI thing, is it not?
Yeah, it is an AI thing. And then question number 5. What colour was Leeds United's third kit in the 2019-2020 season, worn around Valentine's Day? Pink, blue, black, or green?
What year was it? Sorry, 1920. 1920. I don't
I
know.
think
I
you're right,
wasn't
Jimbo,
there.
there. What was the third shirt colour, George?
1920. It was.
Think of Valentine's Day.
Yeah, give me the scores again.
Right, so the colour was Leeds United's. What colour was Leeds United's third kit in the
Oh,
2019
it was like maroon, wasn't it?
in the 1920 season?
Oh, it was grey and pink.
Pink, blue, black, or green?
1920 season. That was a promotion season. The away kit was pink and grey.
Yes, correct. So what was the majority colour on it? When you think
Pink.
of Valentine, pink. Congratulations, pink. Valentine's Day, George. Pink. So I don't think you did well there. I think you got one.
I think that was the last one, wasn't it? Yes.
Got 1 out of 5, George. Don't forget to let us know what you got on in the quiz. That was your trivia challenge for this week. Boom.
Yes, in the land of grey and pink, Arron the Caravan album. I don't know if anybody knew that.
The land of
Caravan, you know the band Caravan?
Who?
Caravan? In the land of grey and pink.
Never heard it. I have no idea what you're on about.
Oh man, Jimbo might know. Do you know Jimbo? Go and search it afterwards.
What is it?
It's a band called Caravan, and the title of an album was called The Land of Grey and Pink.
Wow. It says here George was too busy.
Chance of
George was too busy impressed. George was too busy impressing the ladies on Valentine's Day to know about Leeds games. look at that Cheshire Cat smiling, he knows. Oh dear, yes, I think it was Jimbo.
Yes.
You don't want to know. Right, George, we've got a couple of fixtures to preview. We've got Sunderland on Monday. How do you see this?
I do Sunderland on Monday, and I think I think we're going to win. I do think we'll win. The really good. They had a really good win, obviously, against Watford. Great win, great kit. You know what I mean? Even to the kit. I even got a text of my brother saying, "Yeah, that Leeds kit's nice." I said, "Yeah, which one? Oh, the one they played in last night." Yeah. I said, "Yeah, it's nice. Is that?" I said, "Of course." I mean, we talk about the land of grey and pink, but also these kits could become, synonymous as well and famous as well for if we do get promoted. I mean, everybody remembers the centenary kits and that grey and pink one. I would love a replica shirt of that one. I don't know if you have that one, Arron, at all.
No, I don't know. I didn't get it. I think when Hernandez scored that winner, literally everything just went. It literally gone. Within days.
Well, it would have done. And thinking back to it, I wish I'd have copped it a bit earlier. But you know what I mean. That is one that would certainly go nicely in my collection, in my personal collection of shirts. But yeah, not not acquired it yet. But yeah, look, I think this third kit as well is very nice as well. Actually, I do like it. And yeah, we look good in it on Tuesday. The boys, if they play like that, they will have no problem in dispatching of Sunderland, regardless of whether, Sunderland come and play football. If they do, so that suits us fine. I know they've got people say, well, Sunderland, we battered them at the Stadium of Light, and we were a better team. Obviously, without Melier's silly error, we would have won that game. And, I know they've got Lafitte now, who seems to be doing a little bit, he's obviously a good player at this level. And they've obviously got him because of his links, I think, with Lebris. I think So, I think he was his manager at Lorient, wasn't he? So, he's obviously got, and he's, needs to work on his post-match interviews, I think, Aaron. Well, I don't know. Maybe he, maybe he, whatever. But he didn't understand the questions. But he needs to work on that. But he certainly doesn't look like he needs to work on his football ability. So he's one to watch. But I think ultimately, if Leeds play up to the ability, Elland Road is a cauldron. We always speak about it. We know how difficult teams find it to come to Elland Road and win. So, I think it's a draw at worst, to be quite honest. I think we do have the bit between his teeth, and I think we will really have enough to beat Sunderland, really. But, fair play to them, Aaron. They are sticking with it. They are keeping going, and they do keep chipping away and winning games and getting late goals and picking up points. So, fair play to them. They're not up easy, and they will come and try, and I think they will try and beat us. Or because they've got the players that potential on the day that could hurt us. Isidore as well is having a good season. But generally, I think that Leeds will have too much, particularly if we play like that. And, I really like Solomon, Aaron. And our friend has not been on radio.
Our Israeli friend isn't here, yeah. Might be listening back.
But Solomon is, he's really coming into his own now, and he's really starting to look like the player that was always in there, really, just needed to get up to speed, and he really is doing the business now, and I expect him to do that until the season finishes. Hopefully, if we do get promoted, we can see him in a Leeds United shirt next time as well, because I think he's enjoying it, clearly. His missus was part of the reason why he ended up at Leeds, apparently, so hopefully she can convince him to stay if we do get promoted as well. But he looks like he's playing with a big smile on his face, which is great to see. And they all are, to be fair, as well. And like I said, it did make me laugh, that little video the other day, because he looked so pumped, he looked so happy, and he came in, who wants some smoke? It was just so funny. Because he got right in the camera, who wants smoke?
Yeah, I do think Leeds will win on Monday. I'm quite confident that we'll get the job done. I don't think it's going to be a big struggle for us. I know Jimbo's gone 2-2 on Monday, but I think there's real momentum. We're in form, and the last couple of games, George, I don't know about you, but Leeds have been really, really, really good. They're calm, they're composed. There's no pressure. There's no panic. There's no shit. What do we do if it doesn't work? They seem to be finding ways to score goals, and plenty of goals as well. I think this is, the amount of goals we've scored over the last 6 games is beyond belief, really. And we if we think back to the beginning of the season, oh God, what we're going to do with Ruter and Somerville, who left us, doesn't seem to be an issue. We're scoring goals for fun, and they're well balanced as well. It's not one player. We've got a whole range of players who can get the job done. So I think we'll be all right, George. I really do. I think I can see us winning this 2-3-0. I really can, because I do think they'll probably have a goal in them, Sunderland. So I think 2-1, 3-1. Why not?
Well, I think, how many have we scored, Aaron, there? We scored
80. I don't know.
18. We've got 6 clean sheets in a row. That's 18 goals scored. It's incredible, really, when you look at it. Off 6 games, no goals conceded, 18 scored. That's quite amazing, really. I know Burnley have got 10 in a row, but they don't score that many goals, do they? And we're just blitzing teams at the moment. And I agree with you, mate. I think they just look so much more composed than they did last season, even. We just look.
But last season, if you compare both the teams, George, when you look compared to last season, you could still sense a little bit of panic in them.
Yeah, that's
even
what
though
I mean.
They panicked a lot on and off the ball. I think, oh God, let's pass it to Ruter, and I hope he does something. Let's pass it to Somerville. Oh God, they're injured. We're screwed. And we didn't really have any other options last season. Whereas this time, it looks as though that we've got solutions, and the bench is strong as well. I know that you mentioned it earlier about the cup game when there was wholesale changes. It was a real kick in the teeth for us, and the squad isn't there. But Nonto, Ramazani, these are quality players sat on the bench ready to step in when needed. And I just think, Joseph as well, they've just got to seize that opportunities now, George. They've really got to, when they come off that bench, go for it now and get chipping with the goals, and you could be pushing for a start. That's all I want to see, isn't it?
That's it, isn't it? Exactly. And that was why, I was nobody wants to watch Leeds United lose, but from our point of view, but that was why I was so disappointed as well, because they didn't take the opportunity on Saturday. Whereas for some, it would have been a real chance if you score 1 or 2 goals or whatever, you put in a good performance. You can then knock on the door and to Fark and say, look, I did what I did when he gave me the chance. Give me a chance again and I'll do it again. But none of them really did that. And, and you got to say, the lads within the starting berth at the moment fully deserve it. Like I said, Manor looks completely the different player than he came in.
He's confident.
He's confident. He's buzzing. He's clearly enjoying it. Dan James is obviously enjoying it, but he is a bit more different character. He seems to just he trusts in his own ability to put the ball in the net. Like you say, it's well more balanced than it was last season. Last season, like you said, mate, it was put it to Ruter, put it to Somerville. Oh shit! If none of them do anything, then we're fucked. But now it's like, yeah, Perot's getting in on it. Solomon, James, even Aronson, Ramazani here and there, Nonto here and there. All of them are kind of chipping in with goals in and around the forward line. So it's not relying on just 1 or 2 players. Mainly Somerville really last season, because Ruter. Well, he created the chances, but he wasn't really scoring them, was he? So, it's great to see more balance in the side going forward. Defensively, I think we're obviously more stronger than we were last season as well, and looking at it on the paper anyway. But on on the pitch as well, obviously, a lot more solid. I have been a critic of Jaden Bogle throughout the season, but I think he really seems to be. Really in the last sort of 5-6 games, really coming into his own now, and he has been absolutely unplayable the last little bit of time. Kudos to him, because he's come up, and I've given him a lot of stick over the season, because I haven't think at times he's been good enough. But this season, I think this last 5-6 games, he has been absolutely unbelievable. Very, very confident defensively, just as much so going forward as well. Obviously, he's got his goal last week against Coventry, and he just looks confident. So and down the other side, Firpo is the same really. And so, you know what I mean? And defensively in the centre-back positions, really strong. Doesn't seem much of an effort, to be honest with you, for either Joe Roden or Ethan Ampadu to play. They're playing at half-mast, really, most of the time, it seems. And they're still coming away with, a clean sheet. So it's great to see. And, yeah, here on out, I don't see any other result than promotion would be an absolute disaster, to be quite honest.
Completely agree. So, George, what's your score then for Monday? What's your going?
I think, like you said, I think Sunderland, they can score goals, but I don't know, I think they'll try and come and play, but I think we'll have enough for them to beat their, to comfortably defend against it. And I think we'll win. I'm going to go with 2-0. I think we've got enough. It might be a little bit like hairy. It might be 0-0 at half time. It might be a little bit tight, but eventually, I think the quality that we have will show through eventually. If we've got to keep Isidore quiet. We've got to keep Lefebvre quiet. And if we do that, for me, I know there's Jude Bellingham and other players that can on the day cause issues. But ultimately, like you said to me a while ago when I was watching it here, where was it, deadline day, I was watching that game against Middlesbrough, Sunderland. They don't seem to be going away, but they just don't, and that's fair play.
They grind out results. I think they're a bit like Ipswich, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You like them to Ipswich, I agree. But I don't think the quality is quite there, and I think eventually the quality of the other teams and whoever ends up getting in the top 2 will be better than them. I don't believe they will go up, but they are automatically. But they are only, I think, 2 points off at the automatic at the moment. So it's incredibly tight, really. But we're sitting on top. We're there to be shot out. That is the other side of it. But I do think, like we know, this team this season. Farke with another season under his belt in this position, they can seem to be dealing with the pressure a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. George, that we'll wrap things up there. But can I just say thank you to everybody who has downloaded this podcast, because the numbers continue to go from strength to strength, which is great for us, George. We've had over 6,500 downloads since we started this up. So I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's done that. And also, we've got over the magic 100 subscribers on YouTube. And if you are watching this again, you can listen to us every day of the week you want on YouTube if you want to catch us in that, or you can listen to us live and get involved in the comments. I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday, depending on when Leeds are playing. Normally it's 7 o'clock. We're normally out, George. And I just want to say, George, we're getting a lot of viewers still, believe this or not, in Georgetown. We had 7 extra viewers there. So these people in Georgetown are clearly enjoying you, George. But do you know what? Just a massive thank you to everybody. And we don't really do it enough, and we should say that. Thank you to everybody who downloads us on the podcasts and listens to us. You are the reason why we do this. It's the channel for the fans. So don't forget as well, on this channel, you can, and the podcast channels, you can catch me and Jerry McNamee giving you a match reaction, and we'll be bringing it to you on Tuesday next week, a match reaction. Then we're going to do it live. We might do a live match reaction with myself and Jerry next week. George, go on. You're busted to give your shout outs. And bearing in mind, I've listened to your bloody show and you don't give us a shout out.
I know.
You never have ever given this channel a shout out. And I'm not going to allow you to give your channel a shout out anymore. So, George, farewell. Have a lovely week. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.
Have a good one, everybody. It's